Listen. So today we came because we want to talk about our story, how we met, how we got here. Because people be wondering, like, wait a minute, you've been in Houston how long? And you already got a husband and a whole baby. Listen, we're gonna tell you this God story because I don't know any other way to explain it, right?
No other way. But God.
So, I guess I'll start because I moved here July 24th, 2020, in the beginning of a pandemic, okay? Where there was so many uncertainties, nobody know what was happening, and here I am, I'm gonna move all the way to Houston. I'm from Mississippi. I was born and raised in, Aberdeen, Mississippi. I lived in Columbus, where I went to church at Kingdom Vision International Church. And so my pastors in February of 2020, they met with me and they were like, hey, we have this opportunity to go to Houston. Like, we want to take you with us. Like, is that something you want to, consider? And he was like, I'm going to let you pray about it. I'm like, sir, I prayed about this thing, okay? I prayed about it because I knew my time was, pretty much ending in Mississippi. And it was time for me to do something else, something different, go somewhere else. Houston was not on my radar. He had asked me like October of 2019. He was like, so where you want to move to? I was like, well, I think I might go to Nashville. He was like, please don't say Atlanta. I was like, Atlanta, because I got family in Atlanta. And he said, you thought about Houston? I was like, no. I don't want to live in Houston. I had been here several times. I was like, I don't want to move to Houston. He was like, okay. So that was in October. So in February, he's like, we moved to Houston. I'm like, yeah, I'm going. It's crazy. It's God, okay. So I had already prayed about it. I was like, I just need a sign. Where am I supposed to go? And they were the sign for me, okay. So pack up my children. We moved to Houston, Texas, where we now reside at the Harvest. Okay, my pastors are now the lead pastors, Bishop R.J. Matthews and Prophetess Cecilia Matthews. They are the lead pastors of the Harvest, where I am the worship pastor, right? And so, got to Houston, didn't really know anybody outside of the people that came with us, because a group of us did come together. And so I'm just trying to meet people, right? I'm just out here, and I went and was talking to my friends. Okay, so we have Michael Carr and Kelsey Carr. These two was like, hey, it's this guy we need you to meet. You need to, Kelsey was like, you might want to talk to her. I'm like, okay, let's see. So, what we do, we are going to investigate. So we go online. We go on Instagram and Facebook. I'm like, his Facebook is not up to date. However, I see some things on here that I don't worry about it. I said, but his Instagram is different. It's more active. He has more recent posts. I was like, I don't know, but I was a little skeptical. So I'm like, I ain't finna say nothing to this man. I don't even know who this is, whatever. Mike kept boosting him up. Kept talking to him. But all the while, he boosted me up to him. Thomas, man, what are you saying?
Hey, man, I got this. My sister, man, she a chef because I'm a bodybuilder. So me and Mike had kind of kicked it off real cool and had a couple of workouts at the gym. He was up there at the gym at the Harvest. And he was like, man, my sis, man, she a chef, man. She be cooking up this good food, man, from Mississippi. Man, maybe you, if you need somebody to meal prep for you, man, she can meal prep for you. I said, man, listen, I have somebody to prep my food. And I'm good. No, man, you ain't had none of this Mississippi cooking, man. I'm telling you, you gon' damn. It got to the point to where I was like, in the middle of the workout, I was like, man, I'm frustrated. Like, dude, I don't care nothing about who can cook. I'm telling who cooked for me, and that's the end to it. And he just kept going. Literally, it just seemed like it just went on for 3 or 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes of just him just hyping it up. And I just finally said, okay.
Just say, okay.
All right, whatever you say, bro. I'm not going to try nobody else's food.
Hilarious, okay, first of all. And then, so I had already washed it out of my mind. Like, I'm not doing that. Okay, I don't know who this person is, but it look like you living two separate lives, baby. I ain't got time for it. I ain't got time for none of that drama here. And so I went and met with Pastor Jordan. You know, this is my first time. This is not my first time meeting him, but it was my first time sitting in his office, you know, kind of, you know, just talking to him since I've been back. So I'm like, hey, you know, I meal prep. So I set up his schedule. So he's now going to get meals for me, right? He said, do you know that that's the gym down there? I done been to the Hardest Time Church for conferences. And I never knew that a real gym, like a facility, was down there. Okay, I knew it was a school. I knew it was like a gymnasium, a basketball gymnasium, but I didn't know it was like a workout facility. So he said, let's do a tour. This your church, you know? Come on, let's go see. He said, I want to introduce you to some personal trainers down here. So I get down there. I'm sharing my information. I think I met Dunny first. I gave him my information or whatever, and then he said, "Now this one right here, I'm finna introduce you to this guy. You know, and, you know." He loves the Lord. I'm like, everybody be like, they love the Lord. Child, I ain't got time for that either. You know, I'd have been there, done that. Okay. So he's like, I'm like, okay, come on. And opened up the door. He's like, hey, Dale, I want you to meet somebody. And I'm like, oh, Lord, this that man that Kelsey and Mike trying to put me on. And so I'm looking like, okay. So I got my mask on, so he can't see how I'm really looking. But I can tell he's smiling, okay? So he stopped he was doing like a consultation with somebody. He was doing measurements and stuff. And so he comes out, he just stands there like this. But he's smiling at me. He looking me right in my eyes. I'm trying not to look at him, you know. And I gave him my number. You know, I'm like, this is what I do. You know, you can connect with me if you want to get some meal prep, right? Well, he didn't call me. He didn't text me. He didn't say nothing. But this is what he did do. He go on my Instagram page. He goes to my Instagram page and started liking every single photo. I'm talking about the ones from when I started this Instagram, 2017. He going back liking all these and commenting. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what's really going on, okay? Because I don't know. I ain't got time for this either. But you're looking like you're interested. Because you liking all these photos, right? I would wake up every morning, it's a line of, on my feed, he didn't like this or comment on this. I'm like, okay. So, you know, I ain't no punk, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to say what's up, okay? So me and Tan, we went and worked out. And I was like, you know what? I don't know how to use this equipment. I wonder if the master's piece would help me figure out how to work this. Just to see, because you on Instagram, you see me. So let me tag you this time. Because, again, I ain't no punk. You know, I'm just trying to see what's going on. What you trying to do? So he commented. And we set up a consultation. So he finally, you know, called me. And we talked about my weight loss plans and all that. And he was like, come and, you know, do a consultation. So that was like September 11th.
Yes, September 11th.
9/11. I met with him for the first time, just he and I.
2020.
2020. Okay. So here we are in this office. He said it'll be like 25 minutes, no longer than 45 minutes of a full consultation. How long did we stay in this office?
Seemed like 2 hours.
It was 2 hours and like 45 minutes. Almost 3 hours.
Enough time to where her kids get ready to get out of school.
All I had time to do was go get me a salad from Saladas and go get them kids. I had talked to this man for almost 3 hours. He
occupying my time.
I wasn't occupying your time. You was listen. You wanted your time to be occupied. Let's be clear. And so, you know, it was like, okay, this is interesting. So we started our workouts and all this kind of stuff. I started meal prepping for him a little bit. Actually, not even right off. This what he did. What you gave me?
I was getting some chickens, you see. And they just needed some TLC. They was bare in they form, they rare form. and they needed some care.
He needed a little chef.
You know, and so happened that my chef wasn't available. That was the only real reason he wasn't available. I had texted him, and he's like, "Nah, man, I'm in Sacramento, man. I'm cooking up in Sacramento, so I ain't gonna be back till." I was like, I ain't got no other option. So I ain't gonna let no good chickens go to waste. You know, I'm from Dayton, Texas. We don't let food go to waste, you see. And so
he was like, I got some
the
chickens.
available option. You know, I just went with, the chef just to see what was being said was true.
Yeah, he gave me 2 raw whole chickens, okay? And I cooked them for him. He was like, how much you're charging? I'm like, I'm charging nothing to get these little chickens, I wanted to see. I was just testing to see how this is gonna go. So I gave him the chicken. He carried on so bad. Talking about how, what you did to this chicken. This chicken's so good and all that. What kind of seeds you put on it? He carried on so bad. I was like, whatever, man. So that's how I started cooking for him. So he's my trainer. And then I started meal prepping for him. And then he introduced me to everybody else. I started meal prepping, for other people in the facility. And then things started to shift, right? And I invited him to my cooking show, Cooking with Chef Barb, okay?
Yeah,
that was the test. I mean, I'm the type of person, I'm 30, at the time I was, 33?
Yes. No. Yeah, 33.
I was 33. I ain't had time to be playing with Dale. I've been married before. He'd been married before. I got 2 kids. He got 4 kids. So I'm like, if we're going to waste each other's time, we can just stop, okay? And you're just going to be my trainer. I'll cook your food. But we ain't going to be doing all this flirting carrying on, in the process. You're not going to do me like that. So let me see if what you're throwing out there, is real. So I invited him to my little show, which I'm going to air it, okay? So y'all can see all of that, right? It's going to air on YouTube. I'm going to show y'all all of that, okay? And so me and Dale, he comes, he doing all this flirty stuff. However, at the end, we go outside, we talking. We outside of Kelsey and Mike's house. And so we're just conversing. I'm talking about hours. I
gotta get up and go to work in the morning.
This man talking to me about, what kind of husband I want, how do I want to raise my children. He asking all these questions like you trying to be bae or something, right? And I'm asking the same questions. We talked for hours out there, right? I think we left like 1 o'clock in the morning. But at the end of the conversation, this is what he tells me. Now, we've been out here for hours. Now, you done came over here, you done cooked with me, you done ate, and we done sat out here and got ate up by the mosquitoes, okay? And you gonna have the nerve to tell me, I just want to let you know that,
I really don't. I don't date my clients. I don't talk to my clients like that, You got to separate business and pleasure, you see. You trainers out there, they ain't living right now. Get yourself right now. You can't be mixing business and pleasure now.
Not that part.
Yeah,
it's dangerous.
You got to choose ye this day.
What you gonna do? Because it's dangerous.
It is. It's not fair to either party.
Right.
So, anyhow.
So he was like, I don't date my clients. Oh, okay, then. Well, this conversation over. You done wasted all my time. Okay. So that kind of let me know where we were. And honestly, I was devastated. Because I'm like, oh.
You called Tan.
Tan rode with me over there. Tan, I was so sick. I was like nauseous. My kids were in the back seat. They were asleep. And we pulled up to Tan's apartment. I was going to drop her off. We live in the same complex. And she said, Barbara, it's okay. If you want to cry about it, it's okay. And I remember boo-hooing, ugly, nasty, snotty crying about it. And she was like, it's okay, go ahead and cry. It'll make you feel better. So at this point, everybody want to bust his head. It's me. Everybody was out for him.
I found that. That's new to me now. I didn't know I was on the hit list.
Tan, I think Bertha, Kelsey. I had talked to all of them. Everybody is trying to figure out what is going on. And why? You talking about you ain't your client. You know, Kelsey, she be ready to fight anyway. So she was like, I know not. I know he ain't do you like that. All in my house and carrying on. So I was like, Lord, help me to just get these little feelings or whatever I got going on. Let me let these go so that we can continue to work, because I have a goal to reach. Ultimately, I'm trying to live right, live better. And, I want to live long. So I'm like, I don't want this to hinder the relationship I have with my coach. So I was like, but if there is something there, you're going to allow him. This is your child. He belongs to you. You're going to fix this, not me. So I went in Walmart, finished doing the stuff with my cake, and all of a sudden I get a phone call. It was like, good morning, I woke up with you on my mind and all that. And I'm like, You seen my text message I sent you last night? Because I basically told him I apologize if I made him feel uncomfortable with anything, because I'm like, that was not my intention. You threw all this stuff out here, but I put it back on me, and he didn't respond. And so he didn't respond to my text message. He called me, told me he wasn't thinking about me and all that. Man, did you see my text message? You ain't responded all night. Here it is, like 10 o'clock. You just not calling me, But then I was cooking my cake, I was decorating. He said he was starting to stutter and like with his words and stuff like that. I'm like, what's happening? He says, but this is what he tells me. He said, because I don't know where this is gonna go. Because at this point he's convinced he don't want to let me go. He want to be a little bit more than friends. So he's like, I don't know where it's gonna go. I don't know if you're my wife or not. I said, your wife or not? Wow. I mean, so at that moment, things changed. I'm like, how? Last night you don't date your clients, and here you are today talking about, I don't know if you're my wife or not.
The Lord will make it heavy on you sometimes.
The Lord will I told the Lord, this your boy. Get your boy. Get your son. Okay?
One thing, you got a relationship with God, you put it in his hands, hey, he get to work immediately.
Immediately.
Can it start immediately?
No delay, okay? I'm sweating, y'all. I'm pregnant, so I'm over here perspiring. Turn the ceiling fan on. But I literally, after that, things just started to shift. The Lord started dealing with me about him. And thank you. Giving me a word for the man of God. I don't even do none of that kind of stuff. Never. Like, I ain't giving nobody no word. I might hear something about someone, that the Lord gives me, and I just pray about it in private. Never really shared it. So, I'm telling him things. He's telling me things. Things that start to mesh quickly. So, we're talking about October. Okay? And then in November, it was solidified that, okay, we're supposed to be married. We're supposed to get married. You're my husband. I'm your wife, that type thing. In November. So we met officially in September. By November, we knew that we were supposed to be husband and wife. Okay? Now, people that know me for real and know all the struggles and all the challenges, all the foolishness and all the drama, they're looking like, yes, thank you, Jesus. Because they were able to see him and see that he was genuine, that he loved the Lord for real, and that he really liked me. He really loved me, right? So they were excited to see that. But, of course, a lot of people were a little skeptical, but they were happy for me in the end. But, it's like, after that, things have started to change. And so we started planning a wedding or getting married, a ceremony. And I wanted to get married at the church with Bishop and First Lady and him. I was like, I'm good with it. That was going to be January 11th. But then we said we're going to have a little wedding. I was like, okay, so we started kind of, preparing for that. And child, the man of God going to come and propose to me. I wasn't really expecting it. I wanted it because I'm like, I want the full experience. Yes. And he surprised me on December 11th. 11 has been our number, right?
Yes.
It's so crazy. Okay, so it was 9/11, December 11th We were gonna get married January 11th, and our baby now is due February 11th.
Yes.
Isn't it crazy?
111.
Yeah. So, what you got to say? How did you even end up at the harvest? Now I've been coming to harvest time all this time, and the man had been there. He was there the whole time. Every time I came to Houston, he was there. But the Lord had reserved him for me. Had put him on hold for you, girl. Yeah. I just had to say yes to the Lord, and then I was able to say yes to Bay. Bye.
So how I came about to getting at the harvest, short version. I had the gym. I came to actually partner with a business, a good brother of mine, Alfred Nuevo, that's CEO of Torch Lifestyle. Came to partner with him in 2014, so this year will be 7 years. I really didn't know, what I was supposed to do, but all I was doing is being obedient. I asked the Lord what to do when I was in the transition place, and He was like, "Go serve. This is your time to serve someone else's business. Treat it like your own. Help him grow in whatever way He's requiring of you." And so I just came as obedience. And during the years, there was many ups and downs and things of that nature. There was many times I wanted to leave, but the Lord just wouldn't. He said, I just know one thing about the Lord. When He releases you from an assignment, He's gonna release you. When He tell you to go somewhere, He tell you to go. Yeah. So that's just one thing. I just didn't feel like it was time to go. And I prayed about it. I was like, God, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to leave? Do you want me to transition? What do you want? What do you want? And He still silent. So I just know it wasn't time to go. So I stayed there, and just come to behold, it was all to meet my beautiful, wonderful wife.
Oh my gosh.
I had, of course, had transitioned through a divorce recently before meeting Barb. So, I wasn't in the place where I was looking for a wife. I was just looking to enjoy being single. After being married for almost 10 years, I just enjoy being single. Enjoying my kids, enjoying just being me. Enjoying fellowship with my brothers. Things that I wasn't able to do as freely before because of my previous marriage. And just enjoying. And then here comes this wonderful woman of God, whom when the first time I seen her, I was just like in awe of her beauty, but the beauty that God had inlaid over her in the spirit. Because I always say that I wanted someone that spiritually I match with, spiritually I can grow with, because that's very important to me. I know, everybody want the 36, 24, 36 and all that good stuff, but soon those things will just start to diminish, and you're gonna need some substance, you see. You're gonna need somebody that know the Lord and that can call on the Lord on your behalf, and Absolutely. Someone that can, sharpen you and encourage you and uplift you, and someone that you can truly, genuinely love and grow with and excel in life with. And from the time I seen it, it was just different, totally different, something I've never seen, something I've never experienced before in my life. And I just knew, I was like, she gotta be it. She gotta be it. Wow. And I just started asking the Lord, hey, make way. What do you want to do? And I just started moving in obedience.
Listen, so much so that this man was a deacon at a church
at the Lighthouse.
At the Lighthouse Church.
Pastor Keon, I appreciate Pastor Keon. He's
Absolutely.
A great and wonderful leader, amazing leader. For the time I was there, almost 7 years there, serving.
Yeah. So he was the deacon, right? And I'm like, child, I ain't trying to be nobody deaconess. We talked about it. I was like, well, you stay at your church and I'll be here, and I'll, try to come over when I can, all that kind of stuff. So I invited him to our service. We were back in person, right? Our first Sunday back in person. We all agreed that all the Mississippi people, we would join the church that Sunday. So over 20 some people joined church that Sunday, right? So I was the first person to walk around. We walked around, gave Bishop Beatty a high five. You had to walk around the whole church. He wanted to have a parade of people joining the church, right? So I'm the first person to go. So I don't know who's behind me. I just know I'm right there because I was on the front row. So I'm like, let me go. And so by the time I come back, Pam was like, did your honey just join church? I said, no. She said, yes, he did. He walked around. So by the time Dale is coming, he coming around the church. And I'm looking like, I said, babe, do you know that line was for people to join the church? His eyes were so big. And he was like, I know. He said, but the Lord just told me to go and to join. And I'm supposed to be here. I just stood there and looked at him. I'm like, oh my God. I was in shock. I was like, I can't believe this. Yes. He was in shock too. He was just like, the Lord told me I'm supposed to be here. I'm supposed to serve here. And so he was in shock himself. Yeah. And so he just was led by the Holy Ghost to join the church.
Yeah. Because what I do know is that my wife is a delicate part to the ministry that has come to Houston with Bishop Matthews and Prophetess Cecilia. I know my wife is a very important piece to the ministry of the harvest growing to where it needs to go. And one thing I do know is a divided house does not stand. And so I know as men, we get caught in this facade that wherever we go, our wife got to go. And so and that will be the wrong way of thinking when you look at it from a standpoint of what does God want to do? How does God want the kingdom to move? And I knowing that she came here from Mississippi, I want to make her transition as easy as possible here, rather than bringing making her feel some type of way like, oh, I got to do this and do that. She already made a difficult decision uprooting her family and coming from Mississippi to Houston. So why would I make her life even more of a strain by going over here where I know I'm comfortable? I love my church. I absolutely love my pastor. I love serving with the great men that I serve with. But it doesn't make sense to have my house divided, knowing that we need to be getting fed the same word. We need to be going in the same direction. We need to see what we need to see, and every opportunity that we have, it has to be together. Cohesiveness. That's what the body is about being a unit. So I just knew that we had to be on one accord. So just absolutely knowing that in my mind already, I knew I had to make a transition of going from where I was to, yes, it was hard. And it still weighs on my heart. But at the end of the day, I know I made the right decision, because where I am, I'm totally flourishing in a different way than I know I would have been if I would have stayed. So sometimes you just got to be uncomfortable and go and trust God. That's the whole part of trusting God. That sometimes you got to go without knowing the details and knowing that the plan that he already has for you is for success. Even though it's a strain, sometimes a sacrifice, but those are the times that you grow the most. Absolutely. So I'm grateful that I made the decision, because
me too.
It's with my honey, and I'm growing in the Lord under wonderful leadership. So I'm blessed. Yes.
I am so excited about this 1 year. In a year, things have transpired. I told him, like, in our first year of marriage, I'm like, the Lord testing our vows. And it was like, because we've been married before, it hasn't been like us at each other. You know how, when you first get married, they say the first year of marriage is kind of like the worst year, because you're trying to get to know each other and all that kind of stuff. You're moving in the house with each other. It might be you're fighting, against your will and their will and all that. We didn't necessarily have those issues. it was just some other things that were happening in our lives that personally that was, causing like a few problems with us. But I'm like, the Lord testing us. Like we're getting sick, then loved ones passing away, and
ice storm,
all of that.
Yeah.
Happened in our first year. But what also happened in our first year was a beautiful, beautiful gift that hasn't been unwrapped yet, but is here. And
she's here.
Little baby Joy is here. Yes. She'll be here soon. Yes. And so this has been a beautiful blessing for the both of us. I have been a single mom, and so having babies when you're single is possible. Of course, we get through it and all this, but it's so hard. It's hard on you physically and mentally and emotionally. And so I look forward for the opportunity to be able to have a little one with my husband, someone that loves me for real, that will help take care of me and our children, and help nurture and grow with me with this little baby. So I'm excited. And he hasn't been in the house with a baby in years, over a decade.
Yeah, over a decade. Because I have, even though I have 4 beautiful children.
Yes.
And all except for 2 have different moms. So I never got the chance to really, raise my kids in my own household. So it's kind of like every other weekend, every other week, every other month, those types of deals. It wasn't like a consistent parenting where I got to actually raise my child. So this right here is a new experience, and it's just amazing how God will just allow you to get back some of that time in a sense of where you're getting to do something that you always had a desire in your heart to do. But at the time, as a young man, that wasn't the plan. That just wasn't how I was rolling, Yeah. But that was always a desire of mine, is to be married and to have my children, because it's such a joy and such a gift of life that helps us mature when you are able to raise your children with the one that you're supposed to be raising your children with, and doing it as a loving couple, not just because we had a babe and just doing it, but doing it in something that is ordained by God and has been he has graced us to do. So it is a new start and a new journey, and we are excited. We are super excited. And it's just amazing how God will do such a thing,
Yeah.
Just like our marriage is pretty much what it is built on. The Lord had given us a word on what our marriage will be built on. So it comes from 2 Corinthians 5:17 and 18. I ain't get on here to preach, but I did get on here to give you some substance as to what this marriage stands on and what God had given us as a word. But it says in 2 Corinthians 5:17, it says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old has gone, and the new is here. All this is from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation." So God has reconciled us, even through all the things that we've been through our lives, being married, having children with different people, and not really having a cohesive relationship. God has restored that thing.
Yes.
In a time where it's so pertinent and so important of family, it just even our bishop, that's what his heart is on. Is the new the blessings are going to come through this next generation, and family. Yes. Family is the goal, because it's a lost, I'm not going to say a lost art, but it's a lost culture that families are being raised. Mothers and fathers are loving their children, nurturing their children, teaching their children, but also doing it in a loving and godly manner.
Yeah. And
just, man, it's so exciting to be able to do this, because guess what? I'm the first one in my family to do this. So I have broken a cycle, but I have also started something new. So even at 36, it's never too late. That's the thing about God, that he restores time even from the time of where you are. But that's the blessing of it all. So we are so grateful that God has given us another. He's given us another chance, not a second chance, because we messed that up a long time ago, but another chance.
Yeah.
So we are grateful, and we are excited for our family of
Yes.
soon to be 7 children and 9 total. We have a big family. We have a big tribe of family.
Yeah. I don't know what kind of vehicle we're gonna have.
Yeah, a boat. Noah's boat.
Got to
2x2.
We'll have to have one of them, the big vans, the
That
big
charter boat, that Sprinter.
That's what we're gonna have to have. I mean, because it's the
For
only
real.
way for us to transport. I do want to encourage people to like kind of watch what you say. Okay, watch your words. Probably like in April, I told my friends, I'm like, you know what? I'm good on being married again. Like I have been disappointed too many times, and I was like, you know what? I'm done with that. If I'm just gonna raise my children, I'm gonna get the bag. I'm gonna build some financial wealth for my family. That was my goal. I was like, from here on out, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna even worry about no man. And, if it come, he come. If he don't, I'm not gonna be stressed about it, right? So that was in April. I had told don't talk to me about no husband, none of that. I'm done with that. Let me focus on my children and my career. I went to a wedding. Kelsey and Mike, you're going to hear it a lot. I went to Kelsey and Mike's wedding, and I caught the bouquet for the first time in my life, okay? I have always stood in all the single ladies line trying to fight somebody for a bouquet. It didn't ever come to me. Literally caught the bouquet for the first time and fell in love again. Fell in love with the idea of love. And I told them, I'm like, you know what? I think I might want to get married again. They were like, what? And as soon as I let those words escape from my mouth, it's like the Lord was like, thank you. And he just started dispatching angels everywhere to work on my behalf because of the words that came out of my mouth. So if you want to see something different, you have to speak something different. You have to say something different. You have to believe something different, right? So I just want to encourage you. If you want something different,
say it. But also the posture of that heart. I'm sure the posture of her heart changed. Yeah. To allow God to be able to move on her behalf.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things we can say, but you have to be able to truly receive it and see it. You have to start changing the posture of that heart. Yes. And I'm sure this woman has a beautiful heart. I know she does because I've seen it just from in this short period of time. How great her heart is, and I'm grateful to be on the other side of that, receiving in and giving in to that heart.
He makes me blush. Oh, he's the sweetest thing I know, honey. Outside of August Luke.
Yeah, outside of August Luke.
Outside of August Luke, that's baby. That's my baby, okay? And so outside of August Luke, he the sweetest thing I know. Yes. Okay. But I love you, and I'm grateful for you as well. So that's all we're gonna give you. Yeah, that's pretty much that's it.
That's pretty much it. We stayed pretty much in context of
Yeah, that was like the order. Yeah. And so when we got married, a lot of people were like, they get married because she pregnant. She gotta be having a baby. Why y'all get married so fast? So the Lord wouldn't even let us get pregnant. Is when we got.
Would not.
He would not. Disappointment. I was getting I got the test in there.
Yeah.
I was taking a test every month. Nothing. But then I was like, Lord, let me stop focusing on that. He had to space it out. He's like, 'cause I gotta prove the doubters wrong. Okay, he had to prove them wrong.
They just hoping.
Hoping.
It's too fast. She pregnant. I'm telling you, she pregnant. Mm-hmm. She pregnant. We practice abstinence.
For real, okay? Real. No, we did not have sex before marriage.
We did not have sex before marriage. Was it hard?
Yes! Absolutely. Especially after, this babe. Oh, that's babe.
I ain't gonna lie. But when you save yourself, God will honor that. And we know what we possess as a married couple. That is the ground foundation of how we want to set not just for ourselves but for our children going forward. We want to set an example for them. So we're not just doing it for ourselves, but we're doing it for our children as well. Generations, and to most importantly honor God That's what he.
Yes.
To honor him.
Disappointed him so many times. I'm like, Lord.
We've done this before. We messed up before. Well, we started doing all that extracurricular before the marriage, you see. You know, you want to test drive the car, you see. Sometimes you just got to go by it, just touch it, and agree. I'll be back to get you. You stay right here.
Stay right here.
In fact, let me go in and tell the salesman. That one out there with the Mississippi plates on it. With the Mississippi plates on it. I'm going to come back and get it.
Belong to me.
I'm going to come back and get it. Wait till I get my income tax. I'm going to come back and get it. So you hold on to it. No, but just being obedient, you know. We just doing it different, you know. We want to sow into something great and show people that you can be blessed by doing it the right way.
Yes. And I'm glad I got to do it the right way.
Yes.
This time. So, yes, that is all. That's the story of the Baldwins, how we came to
Baldwin forever. Forever, ever?
Forever, ever? Mm-hmm. Forever.
Ever.
Forever. And forever is a long time.
That's why.
You don't even
That's
know.
how long I love you. Oh, my bad. And that's my song. I picked that song. The Lord put that on my heart by Jason Nelson. You know, when we do this 5-year thing, Jason, I'm gonna be calling you. In fact, I'm gonna call you before because you know I wanna get the price of where you are right now because as the Lord started to elevate. As the Lord started to elevate you, you see,
and as He starts to elevate us, we'll be able to do pay whatever.
You know, you're right.
Okay, so Jason, that's when you turn 5 years old. When the Bible turned 5,
live in action.
We're gonna have a real show enough wedding because we had a pandemic.
Live in action, sir.
We want you there.
We want you there.
Okay, thank you for tuning in. We greatly appreciate it. We appreciate all the love that y'all have shown us so far, and yeah, it's only gonna get.
Thank you all so much
better
for
from here.
walking with us through this journey.
Yes. And so we have so many things like Baby Baldwin. She gonna be all on here. Her whole journey is gonna be on here. So we're excited. So we love y'all and
love you all.
Peace out.
Yeah. Yeah.